Hello science enthusiasts! You are watching a Captain Corrosion video about anodizing, and in this episode we will talk about safety. If you have watched our previous videos, then you know that anodizing is relatively simple, but there is little room for errors, as dangerous chemicals and electricity are involved in this process. Therefore, there are immediate but also long-term dangers that need to be considered before starting with anodizing. So let's start with protection. Chemical-resistant gloves are required to protect your hands, because the solutions used for anodizing and pre-treatments are normally acidic or alkaline. Note that in most cases cheap latex gloves can be used when dealing with dilute conventional anodizing solutions. Using gloves also helps against the contamination of the substrates by finger sweat, which would locally hinder the formation of the anodic oxide layer and thus lower the quality of the coating. Note that dilute sulfuric acid that is commonly used for anodizing is quite harmless to the skin in the case of short exposures and can be washed off with plenty of water. However, if not washed away and forgotten, then it can cause damage to the skin already within a few hours. Continuous exposure to sulfuric acid will also lead to other health problems over time. Anyhow, when using rubber gloves, be sure that you don't touch anything else with these gloves, such as your face, clothes, cell phone, consoles, or other surfaces. Otherwise you contaminate the gloves and through them also your samples. But also dangerous chemicals may end up on places where they are not supposed to be. A laboratory coat is also necessary to protect yourself and your personal clothes when dealing with anodizing, because it is simply a matter of time before some of the acidic anodizing solution like sulfuric acid ends up on your clothes and etches holes in it. Safety glasses are highly recommended because it takes just one small drop of acid or alkaline to cause severe damage to an eye, so be sure to use them when preparing the solutions or carrying out the pre-treatment or anodizing procedures. Next in our list is electricity. During anodizing, the operator will be dealing with relatively high electric currents and voltages that can be lethal. Therefore, it is necessary to have basic knowledge about electricity in order to avoid getting electrocuted. Be sure that the power supply is always turned off and disconnected when touching the setup. The anodizing bath needs to be insulated from the rest of the room. Also, make sure that the floor of the room is always dry. Most importantly, situations must be avoided where an electric circuit could be created that passes through the heart. When you plan setting up an anodizing system, you will also need proper ventilation, because you will be dealing with dangerous chemicals that damage your lungs. So make sure that all the procedures are carried out in a well-ventilated room. Also, try to spend as less time in that room as possible to minimize long-term effects. If you are planning to create the anodizing solutions yourself from concentrated acids, then you will also need a fume hood and experience in working with dangerous chemicals. Make sure that the rooms used for anodizing, pre-treatment or storage are ventilated separately from the offices. It is also important to note that in most cases humans cannot smell the fumes created during the pre-treatment and anodizing processes, which makes them even more dangerous. If you have started with anodizing, then you will also need to store your chemicals. For that purpose, you must use appropriate containers that do not leak and can withstand the chemicals that are kept in them. These chemicals also need to be kept in a storage room that is well ventilated. Finally, I'd like to say a few words about waste disposal. Pre-treatments and anodizing chemicals can often be used multiple times, but eventually they become less efficient and need to be disposed. If the quantities are small, few liters or so, then the dilute acid and alkaline solutions can be neutralized and poured into the sewer. However, at higher quantities it becomes more difficult, and then a disposal service is required. Note that you should definitely not pour acidic or alkaline solutions to the sewer, as it is harmful for the environment and it would significantly shorten the lifespan of the pipes. Thank you for watching our short video about safety in anodizing, which was made in collaboration with the Laboratory of Thin Film Technology. If you want to learn more about this topic, then be sure to watch also the other episodes in this series. Furthermore, in the video's description you will find links to our handbook of anodizing and also other anodizing related merchandise. This is Captain Corrosion, your #1 source for knowledge.